evening, everybody. Welcome to the very first episode of Off the Dirt with Allie and Joe. I'm Allie Stedman. This is going to be a production of the American All-Star Series presented by PPM Racing Products, and I'm tonight joined by Joe Rush, the CEO of the American All-Star Series. Joe, how are you tonight?
Hi, Allie. Doing great. It's good to be here and good to get this off the ground tonight. Really excited about it and the things that we have to come that go with it.
Yeah, I'm super excited to have our very first episode tonight. We are streaming straight to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, all of our social media accounts. So if you don't follow those, go follow those real fast. Joe, what do we have in plan for this vlog every week?
Yeah, we're really excited to do this. I think we're going to shoot for Mondays at 7:30, and then, of course, it'll be uploaded to each and every one of our pages. If you look down there at the bottom, we've got all our social media going there as well. Before we get started, though, and talk about all this stuff, we have to talk about the fact that you're famous, Allie. We got this. There was a nice article from our Heat 2 sponsor, Outside Groove, today. And, let's just talk a little bit about that and your background and your start in the sport.
Well, I didn't expect Joe Rush to text me and be expecting a call from Knoxville because I didn't really think that I was that interesting to talk about, but it was really cool to have somebody want to do a story about me. But pretty much my interview just went, he wanted to know my experience and what we plan to do with the series, with the social media, with the TikTok account, especially with the TikTok account because, some people look at TikTok as just dancing girls and weird cheesy dances and stuff like that. So hopefully we can turn that into something special for the series, get some fans, get some drivers, get some drivers on there so people can put a face with the car and the name. So,
yeah, and I think our page has some dancing men on it, if I remember correctly, from PRI.
Yeah.
So,
James Harris, William Blankenship, Terry Poor, we got a great amount of those guys dancing. They're pretty good dancers.
Absolutely. So, Allie, let's talk a little bit about your time in dirt racing. I posted today on the Facebook page, I think it was on my personal page, that you've been in the series is not very old as we head into our fourth season, but you have been in the sport for less time. You didn't even know what dirt racing was when the series was founded. So, let's talk about that path and what brought you to dirt racing.
Yeah, so I didn't actually, I think my very first dirt race was in 2019. I never saw a dirt car run across the track until 2019, and I'm almost positive that it was an American All-Star race at Wythe Raceway. I was terrified for every one of those drivers because I've only watched asphalt. So I was thinking that they were going to wreck every turn because you know how crazy they go and how much out of control they look compared to asphalt. But, and then I worked at Kingsport Speedway, an asphalt track, and then I got asked to work at Volunteer Speedway. And then I ended up moving up to the tower, being a scoreboard keeper, and then moved up from there being a scorer. And then the famous story of Joe Rush and myself became.
That's right. So let's talk about that because you see, you were in the tower at Volunteer Speedway.
Yeah, I was doing practice for our 100-lap race, or your all's 100-lap race at the Gap at the end of the year, and I was just scoring the practice, and then you made your famous comment to me.
So. Yeah, I had to come up there and see you, Allie, because I had to make sure that whoever was in the tower knew what they were doing for practice.
Absolutely.
So we got in the tower and we got to working up there, and I was talking to you and you said Casey Bells had trained you.
A little bit.
And
he has really done, mind you, this is how I was taught how to score. All right. You've been up there, you've been at the Gap. Well, during 2020, we had a half working loop. We had World Outlaws up there. We had all kinds of series come to the Gap that year. And we had a half-working loop. And I didn't really have anybody up there teaching me how to do it. So I was pretty much self-taught until Casey Bells came along and helped me a little bit. But I was self-taught on a half-working loop. So it was, let's just say drivers didn't like me at that point.
Right. Well, and that's to be expected. So I got up there and I showed you a couple things with scoring and showed you, leave it green for practice. So they have all their times. And And then what did I tell you about Casey Bells and scoring for the All-Stars?
Well, me and you started talking about how Casey's really helped me with the scoring aspect and taught me pretty much everything I'd known at the point at that time. And I was like, we were having a conversation about Casey Bells, and then he said, "Yeah, Casey Bells is the only one I will ever trust scoring my races."
I did say that. So
you really said that to me, and then a month later, I get a message from Joseph Rush and said, "Hey, do you want to score for the American All-Star Series?"
And you gladly accepted.
Yep.
I think you were shocked, but you joined the team, and we're glad to have you. And then but you're not scoring now. It's a part of your job, but you're doing a bunch of other stuff. So how'd that happen?
Yeah, so I'm pretty much going in blind again. I don't really have much marketing and PR experience, but I think I'm doing at least a decent job of it. So really, I'm just trying to kick off some social media, reach some different people on for the series, and get some new drivers, new fans, and like I said, put a face with the name in the car.
Yeah, and that's a big part of dirt racing, I believe, and you can testify to it, is just putting yourself out there, because you might get scared, you might get nervous, and you just got to do it, and you're willing to do that.
Well, and then most people who know me on there, on here, whatever you're watching, and know that I have a decently big personality, and I've told Joe this plenty of times that I could talk to a wall if it would talk back. So, it's just being able to be outgoing, and I'm willing to be outgoing. So, hopefully we can do something with the series with me.
Absolutely. And, we work together well, and I think we're making a pretty good team here. So it's good to have you as a part of the team, Allie, but let's talk about, I've got some comments that have come through. So definitely want to go back and catch up on some of these comments from some of our adoring fans out there. We got Kayla Johnson here from Down and Dirty Photography, who has shot several of our events and things. So she says, hey to Joe. Then we've got our good buddy from the Pro Late Model Dirt Series, Cody Early here, and one of our great partners.
He actually messaged me just a minute ago. I saw it come up. He said, why is there a creepy picture of George Strait in Allie's mirror back here? I have my TV playing music, and it's just it's not playing right now. It's muted, but there's an album cover, and it's just screening through there. So if you see weird country singers on my mirror, that's why.
All right. So this next comment, is this a true statement?
Yeah, he did. He texted me and told me that I don't reply or talk to him anymore because I'm famous. So.
Guess that happens when you get famous. I don't
think I'm necessarily famous, Joshua Patch. I think I'm just a normal person.
Here's a comment that I really, it does say you're famous ticking there on the bottom of the screen, Allie. But here's a comment from Chase Montgomery that says, I'm ready for winter to be over, and back to some racing. So definitely agree with that. Nice comment from Josh also to Casey Bells. Casey does a great job.
He is a too.
He is. Robert Roberts going to be on the tour with us this year. Excited to have Robert on the tour. Robert, probably one of the low budget teams that we have on the tour, and really excited about that. Robert puts a lot into his racing program and works hard, just like everybody else, to get to the track. So, and then a great comment here from Patrick Sullivan, the father of Leighton Sullivan, that says that we do a great job and it's a great series. So appreciate you guys. Guys, keep the comments coming. Let's have some fun with this.
Yeah.
That's what this is all about. The idea is for us to open up, and I think Allie wants me to be a little more open and goofy on this show. So we're going to try to have fun with this show as we go through the night and through future episodes as well. So definitely
a bit of your personality, Joe.
Yeah, keep the comments coming, and we'll continue to have a good time with this deal. So as we move forward here, I'm being attacked by my cat, so that's good comedy added to the show tonight that we hadn't planned to have. But let's talk about all these new social media accounts we've got set up, and the different ways we're going to be streaming and things like that we started talking about a little bit earlier. But Allie, let's talk about some of those.
So you guys know that Facebook is mainly our main page we've had for a while, ever since the series started. So that is still running. Obviously, most of our viewers are on Facebook right now. And then we also have just created a new Instagram account. It is at aas.pro late model series, and all of our accounts are streaming down here on the bottom of the page here. And then we also have a Twitter account, and we also have a Twitch account now. We're probably going to be trying to stream straight to Twitch, and also hopefully put some new racing footage on there of our races and our touring races. So hopefully that'll work out. And then we also have a new YouTube channel that we're streaming to right now. So if you're watching on YouTube, welcome, at American All-Star Series.
Allie, you want to go ahead and drop some big news about our partnership with Dirt2Media?
Oh, yeah.
This was probably the as we were talking about things we're going to be talking about. You didn't know this yet until I told you, but we're excited with our partnership with Ryan at Dirt2Media. We are actually on Dirt2Media as well tonight live. So shout out to all our friends there on Dirt2Media. But we are excited to say that we're going to have our highlights uploaded to Flow Racing, which I think is just a huge boost in the arm for the series.
I think that is awesome. I mean, you talk about Flow and you think about the Lucas Oil guys or, the World Outlaw guys being on Flow, and then there's, us that's going to be having our highlights on there. So almost every race, and then hopefully we can get some live stream on there on Flow Racing.
Absolutely. I'm really excited about that. Robert Roberts says he'll be posting videos of our races at each and every weekend, so I'm sure that his videos will focus on him, but we can pull those videos and share them to our YouTube channel as well. So the more content we have, the better, Robert. So we appreciate you doing that. It's a great marketing tool. It's a great way to reach people. So I appreciate you guys being willing to help us promote the series and stream our races. So also, Evan Hinkle wants to know, we'll talk about that. Evan, remind us, we're going to talk about the schedule later. We'll come back to that. All right. So we'll come back to that comment. Stephen Michael says he can't wait for racing to start. We've got a hey from our buddy Kobe Gallion that races there at Willard Speedway. I think we're going to see him at several touring races this year.
Kayla said that she's finally glad she got excited to finally meet Allie after the years of following you.
I don't know how she's not met you being at the Gap quite often, so I'm not sure how you all have missed each other these past couple of years.
But it's nice to meet you. Hello, Kayla.
Kayla's a big supporter of the series, and we definitely appreciate you, Kayla. So we're excited to have you with the series as much as you can be as well. All right, so that's our
talking about social media, but we didn't mention our TikTok.
Oh, yes, that's the most important part of our social. So talk about that TikTok page.
We have gotten up to 1,500 followers on TikTok. So if you don't follow us on TikTok, it is AAS Pro Late Models. Straight from TikTok, I have posted different videos of races that I've recorded from my little dinky phone. Mediocre racing videos, but they're pretty cool. I think they're pretty cool. And then we recently started doing interviews at the car show with Ricky Green's favorite tool, our tiny microphone.
Yes, you made good friends with Ricky Green this weekend. You all bonded over the tiny microphone.
So go check our TikTok out, and then I did some interviews with Ricky Green. You're gonna hear the train now. I'm at college, so yeah. So I can't help that. And then I had Ricky Green do a interview about the chasing the tour, the points championship this year, and then Logan returning to the touring championship, and then also William winning races, and then Shane mentioned Tyler. So it goes all the way from A to B, the whole 9 yards in the interviews this weekend.
Yeah, and speaking of which, one thing that we were wanting to mention, I lost my train of thought, Allie. It just went away. The train. That's what I was thinking about. So, one thing, folks, that we want to share is we plan to make this into a full-blown video podcast. Allie's got to finish college, but once she's finished with college, the plan is to have a studio set up and to really push this out there and hopefully get, a lot of people that follow us. So really, really excited about that, Allie. I think you are as well.
I'm super excited about that. Hopefully we can make this into a whole studio when I maybe be moving up to Beckley, West Virginia.
We can't talk about why yet.
Yeah, we can't talk about why, but I possibly will be making the move to Beckley, so me and Joe will not have to be streaming together on a remote thing. So hopefully we can make that into a bigger thing when we get to that point.
That's exactly right, Allie. So
yes, Cody, Beckley. Yes, Beckley.
Great place. It's a great place. So, that would. We're really trying to grow this series, though, Allie, and I feel like with what we're trying to do, that will very much benefit the series, especially with you kind of taking over as the face of the series and being headquartered here in Beckley. I think that will help everything that we're doing.
Yep. And speaking of growing the series, I think we really hit a growing point this weekend at the car show. What do you think, Joe?
Yeah, absolutely. The car show was excellent. We saw a lot of people that we knew. We had a lot of fun with some racers that were there with us and some partners. And speaking of partners, man, what a weekend it was for us.
We really gained a lot of partners this weekend, people willing to join our show, willing to join our series. The first one that we went to, well, we were goofing off on TikTok. We were goofing off at the booth, goofing off talking to different people and stuff. And then we finally, me and Joe, he looks at me and said, okay, it's time to get serious. Let's go talk to people. So we went over first to Hammond Motorsports. And I take full credit for this one because he said that we helped him out on TikTok and got him some views on his business. So we now have Hammond Motorsports aboard. He is going to be doing something special for the series for the points leader. He will be given an air cleaner for the points leader, royal blue air cleaner. And then also he'll be giving away a free air cleaner at every driver's meeting. We'll be drawing a random name out of a hat, and then if you are attending the driver's meeting, if you don't attend, you don't get it. You get a free air cleaner.
Red one. So,
yeah.
We're picking up new followers on the Twitter page that just popped up. So if you're watching us on Twitter, thanks tonight, guys. We appreciate you guys that are over there watching us from Twitter. But another new partner we picked up, speaking of focusing on the point leader, was Chris Nash Racing. Chris was a great guy to talk to, and Chris is going to provide us with a yellow spoiler for the points leader to run all year long. And really excited to have Chris on board and to signify, with our title sponsor being PPM, yellow spoiler makes sense. So Chris will be running that yellow spoiler points leader will be running that yellow spoiler all season long. And Allie, you had some fun with Chris on TikTok too.
Yes, so I was telling him a little bit about TikTok, and then he ended up telling us that he has several cars that he has made up for this season, and hopefully he'll be able to make some of the – he said he was going to try his best to make it from Michigan to one of our series races this year.
Yeah, he said that he runs super mainly, but he wants to come run a crate race with us. And speaking of people and sponsors that also have race cars, we talked to Ray at American Racer Tires, who we're proud to have back for the fourth season running. And Ray says he's going to put a crate motor in one of his cars. And so Tar Heel Tiger, super late model driver that has a lot of experience, is going to step parallel because I think we have some of the best competition in the country, Allie, to come and run some crate races or pro late model races with us this season.
Yes. And speaking of different ones that used to drive or do drive, we added a new sponsor, ATC Bolts and Fasteners, and I have come up with this cool idea for him. He's a contingency sponsor, so he will be providing, hopefully, if we get this worked out, he's going to be doing a B-Main Bolt Bandit award. So the winner of the B-Main will be getting a $100 case full of bolts and fasteners.
Yeah, you came back to me carrying a box of bolts and fasteners, Allie. So really, you had that, and Evan, we run open fronts and hard rears. Right now, we are looking at the rear tire rule, but it's open fronts and 1600s or 56s on the rear currently. So that's something we're working on and seeing what we've got going there. Chase Montgomery, I did see one of the West Tennessee tracks was looking or talking about changing their crate series rules today. So reach out to them. Let them know we'd love to be there. I believe Duck River Speedway was discussing that today. But another sponsor we picked up, a new sponsor this weekend, was Great Lakes Speed Shop. Bud Watson's a friend of mine, another racer who promised me about 10 times he was coming to race last year, and he made it 0 times.
0.
0. So, but Bud and I have become friends over the past couple seasons. I really, really like Bud, but he did fail to make it to our race last year.
Daytona.
So, Bud does say he's going to come this year. He says he's going to be there the first weekend at I-75. So we'll see how that plays out. But we are glad to welcome Great Lakes Speed Shop as the Heat 3 sponsor for the season.
Yes. And he is a very, very tall man. I figured that out. Me doing an interview with Bud made me look like a person that was like 4'3". But he is 6'6" and I'm 5'3", so it didn't really even out very well.
Allie, I don't know if you saw the picture of Bud and I, but you know, it kind of works out that way. So speaking of which, I guess we found out that I'm shorter than I think I am because I'm the same height as you. Yeah. So you know,
you're 5'3" as well, Joe.
I've failed at life through all these years. So I saw your post about the sun visor earlier, and I felt your pain on your Facebook page. So you know, we're really glad to have Bud with us and his tall self sponsoring the series.
And also, we are proud to welcome back KRC Power Steering. He is going to be sponsoring our Restart Zone this year, so we get to see more of our drivers push the limits in that Restart Zone this year.
Yeah, Allie, you know, one thing that I want to be training you on is doing some race directing. So especially nights when we have Casey there scoring, I may just put you on calling the restarts and watching that. So, you know, that's probably one of the hardest calls to make in the sport, especially when you're at an angle to where the restarts take place. You know, you're not straight onto it. So,
and also, you know, I would like to say that I'm decently liked with the series because, you know, nobody ever fusses at the score. They always fuss at the race director. And now you're going to get me more fussed at. So, of course, Carson would say no one jumps starts.
Yes. So KRC Power Steering Restart Zone. Got a lot of good comments that have come in while we've been talking about this. Our good buddy Rusty Webb says that he's here for the Dominant Republic AAS. We've got Eric Henry with us, Tama Johnson.
Our new partner,
Dave Hammond. Dave, we need you to just move this way. You know, Allie's coming to Beckley to live, so you might as well join us here too. So, you know, just we'll all sit her up here in Beckley at headquarters. So,
and we got Carson Ferguson. He's doing his crap talking about our Restart Zone. He's
been texting me and trash talking me while we've been doing this as well. So, you know, I've just ignored the text and I keep rolling. So
he texted me too, and I've just ignored it too.
So Robert says that may change. That's true. So if you're a race, I don't know what he was saying that may change to. I think probably when you were talking about race directing and getting yelled at. So you know, that's what we're talking about there. Dave says I'll just move to Iowa. So Dave, you told me that didn't like crate racing out there. So, you know, that's how that goes. But we got Austin Cottle, another one of our new sponsors that we announced when we were still just doing our regular live shows before we kind of turned it into this video podcast we're going to do. And actually, I want to give Dave Hammond full credit for the podcast idea because he called what you were doing when he saw you a podcast. So, Dave, you know, you gave us credit for the hashtag. And I want to give you credit for the idea for this video podcast that we're going to be doing. And like I said, really looking forward to the long-term, what we want to do long-term with this deal. So I think it would be great and a lot of things. So Austin Cottle there, AC Customs Graphics. I want to mention them. One of our new sponsors for the 2022 season. We talked about them the last time when we went just doing lives. So excited to have Austin on board. And, of course, we are also welcoming back another longtime sponsor, partner in Terra Race Cars. I saw Blake at the car show, and he said, I'll talk to you later, and never saw him again, Allie. So really excited to have Terra with us again. They used to make late model chassis. Now they focus on modifieds, but they do late model bodies. So here's the deal, Allie.
Okay.
you finish last, you get $100 off a new body.
Well, the person who finishes last is most likely the one who was involved in a wreck.
That's true. Guess what, though? You can combine up to 6 of these certificates to get $600 off a new body. I'm not sure about you, but I really feel like that if we are...
If somebody finishes last 6 times, I think we wouldn't be seeing much of them.
That's right. That's right. Oh, Rusty corrected what he said. He's in the Dominican Republic, so we've got international viewers tonight. I kind
of like the Dominant Republic AAS.
Yeah, I like that too. We probably should start using that. So Dave says he needs us because their crates aren't as good up there. So we need to just pack up.
One day we can schedule a series race up in Iowa.
That's right. So we got to get where we want to if we're going to do that. So definitely would like to do that, Allie.
Well, speaking of partners, Joe, none of this would be possible without our title sponsor, PPM Racing Products. So here is a quick word from our title sponsor, PPM Racing Products.
When you start with the strongest American steel, apply the smartest techniques. Let artesian quality craftsmen do the work. What you end up with is just built better than anything else you can get.
All right, welcome back to Off the Dirt with Allie and Joe. Joe, we talked about last weekend. We talked about the car show. We talked about our social media. What do we have this weekend for the drivers of the American All-Star Series and fans?
This weekend is the series banquet. Really excited about that. Got some great things from our partners. Renegade sent some prizes to give away, and some of our other partners have contingency prizes they're giving away. But we are doing the banquet at the Holiday Inn in Knoxville on Cedar Bluff Road at 6:15 on Saturday. Just excited to get together and celebrate the season. It lets us all kind of hang out and have fun one evening, a little more formal atmosphere than what we're used to seeing each other in.
Yeah, and I'm, thinking about coming back and seeing all the drivers and all of our fans, from being around races all season. It makes me think of the interview I did with Leighton Sullivan over the weekend at Car Show. He said, we haven't been in racing in about 3 or 4 months, so I'm excited to see everybody. And that's pretty much how I feel about the banquet. I'm excited to see the drivers and excited to give them their awards and their earnings from this season and see their hard work pay off from the season.
Yeah, we got a great group of racers to go and hang out with, and it really is like a family with the touring members that will be there. We spend a lot of time with them on the road this summer, and next season you're going to be with us I guess it's this season now. It's 2022. You're only going to miss one weekend of the season, so you're going to be with us full time on the road, and you're going to be around racetracks with us more too. We can't talk about that right now, but be excited about something that may be coming later. Folks, we do have an exciting announcement at some point. Some big news. So in the next few weeks, be watching for that.
Well, also, we talk about the banquet and their hard work and stuff. And you think, I wasn't around dirt racing, and I was just, in the tower and signing transponder people in, and then you go to 411 for their hangover in January, and you see all the people and you look back and you're like, a year ago I didn't know all these people. So the amount of relationships I've made with you guys this series and the drivers and everything else is crazy. The amount of relationships I've even made with industry.
Yeah, it really is like a family. We have a family chat with 4 of the staff members from the series on Facebook, and then we've got a chat with Cody Early. We've got, the series staff with all our staff page. So, we have all those different things that are out there and available, and we spend a lot of time together. So we, might as well like what we're doing, right?
Yeah. And then, we talk about our sponsors and our partners, and Dave Hammond, he's from Iowa, and we made a simple relationship just over TikTok. So it's pretty cool the amount of family and relationships you bond over racing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really great. And then we have those shows like PRI, like the Cars Show, the show in Knoxville that Outside Groove's putting on, where we can go and see all these other people that the maybe the partners that are from farther off that we don't get to see on a weekly basis at our shows like we do our drivers and each other.
And speaking of weekly shows, we're not racing right now. Obviously, we're in January, but we do have a new thing coming out on January 26th at the end of the month.
Yeah, before we talk about that, I do want to mention weekly shows. We do have our weekly points that we're paying out this weekend too. So those weekend warriors, they'll be in attendance. The top 10 in points from the weekend warrior program that we do will be in attendance as well to get their prize monies.
Yes.
All right.
Now we're on with our new thing coming out on January 26th, right?
That's right. So, Allie, wanted to mention with this iRace that we have, the Winter Clash, co-sanctioned by the Pro Late Model Dirt Series.
By Cody Early.
If you're a driver that's registered for that, please send me a message on Facebook. For some reason, Facebook has done away with the ability to reply to comments. So if I'm not friends with you on Facebook, I can't send you the information to get paid to get entered into the race. So we still have three. I'm sorry. We still have 3 openings left for the event, and we need to get those filled up. But please send us a message on the Facebook page if you're watching tonight. If I haven't already reached out to you, because they took away the send message and reply option. So definitely reach out to me.
Yes. So into this iRace, it's called our Winter Clash. It'll be hosted on January 26th here at the end of the month of January. It's a 1,000 win Winter Clash. We're allowing 52 entries right now. We have 49, so we still need a few entries, and those entries are sponsored, correct?
No, the sponsored entries have all been taken. Okay. They've been filled.
Well, they're not sponsored, but it's only $60 to enter in your race, and we're going to have 52 entries in that race. Joe, an iRace with 52 entries, 52 drivers, I think it's going to be a pretty good race.
Yeah, we've got a great group of drivers. Brandon Bolton asked for saving the spot. Yeah, Brandon, we got your spot till you get paid there, buddy. But you are the former winner of the American All-Star Series back when we did this during COVID. You are one of our former winners of one of our events. So really excited about that. Kendrick Hicks, I don't know, Allie, if you noticed, I know you're on the Facebook page. If you saw where Kendrick tagged us the other day, but he actually has a replica of the Weekly Champions car, AJ Hicks, his brother, ready to rock and roll for this show. So, we'll get to see that representation of one of our weekly racers, our weekly champions. Paint scheme on the track with us that weekend. Got a lot of great racers running with us that have raced with us in real life, such as Jeremy Steele, John Bragiero, Shane Grieco, Tyler Cox. So a lot of real life racers. Evan, do you race in real life? I know you're here watching us. You said you practiced the heck out of Lernerville. You asked about tire rule earlier too. So Evan, do you do that? Let us know. Brandon Bolton will be in the 94 car, as well as Josh Thomas, who's working on something for his.
Right. I got something that's going to be pretty cool if it'll work on the IRL car.
Okay, so that is awesome. You'll probably be seeing Josh a lot this season, Allie.
TikTok fan.
Yes, he's a TikTok fan, and he lives in the Beckley area, so you'll probably be seeing him a lot this season. But Brandon Bolton's going to be in the Jordan Hedger number 94 car, it looks like, with Jordan's 2022 wrap on. So Jordan's another driver that plans to run the tour this season. So a lot of great entries. I think we'll have a lot of cars that resemble real life race cars, but we've got some. Jeffrey Wolford was trying to get the game, the sim. I almost called it a game. So Jeffrey's trying to get the iRacing before we go racing on the 26th. So he'll be a rookie out there with some of the pros, Allie.
Yeah. Well, then you talk about pros, and some of them are pro drivers, and then you have John Ruggiero Jr. that races almost 4 or 5 times a week, and then Kendall Tucker, he's one that just recently got a 602 car. So hopefully we got some experienced guys in there, and the open setup's going to be the most interesting because they're not all going to have the same car. It's going to be down to who sets up the best and who drives the best.
Yeah, absolutely, no doubt. Evan says that he goes with Justin Smith and Brian Smith. So Justin's run with his son before. Brian, I've seen his name around, but he's never raced with us. So Chase Montgomery, huge race fan. That's what we want. That's the people we're trying to reach on tonight's show. So, that's one thing that that we want. We want to reach fans of the sport, and we want to get new fans and interested in what we're doing.
Yeah, and it's super interesting on how many people are interested in iRacing. It's super easy to join in on watching the iRace, and then also we have all these drivers that are going to be entered in this. I think it's going to be a pretty good race, and then it's not every day that you get $1,000 to win on a simulation.
Yeah, that's right. Big money, big money for these iRacers. Not the biggest in the world, but big for a one-off event, I think, for sure. And, Allie, we've had such interest in this. Maybe we'll try to do it again in February and run one more in March.
Awesome.
So, it's went really well, and we co-promoted this thing and had a lot of fun with it.
Mm-hmm. But then you look back and you're like, the American All-Star Series is co-sanctioning this event, the iRace event at Lernerville Speedway on January 26th with the American All-Star Series and PLM Dirt Series. But none of it would be possible without our title sponsor, PPM Racing Products. And here is another quick word from PPM.
When you start with the strongest American steel, apply the smartest techniques, let artesian quality craftsmen do the work. What you end up with is just built better than anything else you can get.
All right, welcome back to Off the Dirt with Allie and Joe. We have talked about our social media accounts, myself being famous. We have talked about our iRace event, our partners, the car show, the banquet. We talked about a lot of stuff tonight, but let's talk about the main thing that people are wondering about 2022.
Yeah, the season, we've had lots of questions about the schedules. Hey, how about Robert Roberts before we go on? How cool is this? Just trying to help and support the series.
I'm trying to put an AAS decal scheme on my hood to help advertise the series. We appreciate you. We need more drivers like you. If there's any drivers out here watching this and you see this comment, do it. Just do it. Promote your series.
All right.
The dominant Republic of American All-Stars.
So I don't know if Dirt to Media is watching us too. I know we're live on Dirt to Media. I don't know if Ryan's live watching us tonight, but if Ryan's live watching us, I hope you note that for T-shirts for future printing, for sure.
Yeah.
So, Allie, we're gonna miss you at the season opener. I-75 Raceway, the one weekend you have to miss this season. That opens up with the biggest season opener the series has ever had, with a $2,500 to win and a $5,000 to win race
on April 1st and April 2nd. So it's a 2-day race. It's a 2-day show. So hopefully we'll have a lot of cars there. I hate that I have to miss it, but I do also play a college sport, so we gotta get that in before I can start racing. So. Yeah,
we got to get you graduated.
Yeah.
That's the most important part, to get you graduated, and then we can really start to get you on the road racing. So Josh Thomas says when he streams, he will use the AAS logo too. So thank you, Josh. Allie will get that to you for sure. So appreciate that. But
after we open it up at I-75, we are back on April 16th at Lake Cumberland for 3,000 to win. That is a new track on the schedule. It's been requested by a lot of our drivers. I've never been there, and Joe, I don't think you've been there either.
I haven't, Allie. It's a month from Sunday. It's 3 months from Sunday. Yeah, 3 months from Sunday. Are you going to be able to go that long without seeing a race?
I don't know. it's pretty hard, but I'll stay pretty busy here at school, so hopefully that'll keep my mind off of racing for a minute.
Yeah, absolutely, and we'll keep you busy with the podcast too.
Yeah.
So, we'll still have fun. We'll still talk racing as we get ready for that. So,
And
but
then we've talked this whole show about big news coming out, but we can't announce it yet. And then we have something interesting on the schedule. It got moved from April 23rd to April 30th now. It is a TBA on the schedule, but we do know for a fact there will be a 10,000 win, our first 10,000 on the schedule for 2022.
yeah, that will be a great race. Can't wait till we can announce location and when and where of it. So, really, really excited about that. But do know that it will be on the original schedule we put out April 23rd. Works better for the track and a certain series official to do it on April 30th.
Surely not me.
We got to cover our PR and marketing department in a 10K race, that's for sure. So then the next week, we're right back at it with one of my favorite races because I'm a huge Star Wars fan with All Star Wars at Raymond Shepherd's Wartburg Speedway.
Yeah. May 7th, we're at Wartburg Speedway, and also that'll be my college graduation, so I'll be able to hopefully graduate college and then head into a racetrack right after.
Yeah, Allie, we really want to swing by there that morning and just, have all the bells and whistles. Maybe we can even decorate up the trailer for your graduation and be there with you.
Yeah. So that'd be pretty awesome to bring the trailer into my college campus and have everybody looking like, who the heck is bringing this trailer into this private school college?
Yeah, we'll probably have to let Jesse Raines navigate it if it gets tight. But because I can go forward, but not backwards. But the plan is to be there and watch you walk across the stage and then kidnap you.
Yeah, sounds good.
So we're excited about that. We're really excited for you. I don't know how big of a class you're graduating with, but if we have to sit there for 4 hours, we will to celebrate the day with you. So we're excited about that for you.
Hopefully they don't restrict the amount of people that can come this year. So
that's right. If they do, we might have to sit across the way and watch from the distance.
We can have a whole family, mom, dad, and bro there.
That's right. So that's the plan, and we're really excited for you. That's a very important day for you, and really, with the plans for the future, it's a very important day for the series as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, and then also we have the next race. We take a few weeks off, and then we are back on May 21st at Mountain Motorsports Park for our third annual Bluegrass Burner for 3,000.
That's right. And actually, Raymond called me today. I wanted to get the payout for his race. Didn't know what it was, but it is going to be $2,500 to win at Wartburg. So that's the biggest paying race that he's ever done for the series. So we're excited for that. But yes, then when you go to the third annual Bluegrass Burner, the Profit family's been on board with the series since they got the track, and we're excited to head to Isom for this exciting event.
Yes. And then we're back a week later. We're at Smoky Mountain Speedway on May 28th for our fourth annual Mayhem in the Mountains night one, and then we're on May 29th at Wythe, and then we're at a 5K at Wythe, and then a 3K at Smoky. So
that's right. One of the rare back-to-back weekends for the series. We don't have those real often. We do have it at the beginning of May and then at the end, but those races always, the Memorial Day weekend, those races are always great. Always have a lot of drivers attend those events, and can't say enough about either Casey Moses, Roger Sellers. They're at Smoky Mountain. I think this is the appropriate time to mention our good friend Dustin Dunlap, and I'm proud to say that we're going to wear the Smoky Mountain logo on our official shirts all season long. That represents in memory of Dustin. So Dustin was a great friend. I miss him. I would text him all the time, and a serious moment here on the show tonight for a minute. Just really, really going to miss Dustin and being there with him at Smoky. Allie, one time he told me, he said, as long as I'm involved in Smoky Mountain Speedway, the American All-Star Series will be involved at Smoky Mountain Speedway. So he was just a really great guy, a good friend, and I miss him dearly, especially as we're doing this, getting ready for the season.
Yeah. And he will be dearly missed. He really helped Smoky run a smooth show up there. Put on some good races that I've been to, and he will be missed, but I know Casey Moses has it in her to put on another smooth show for us.
Yeah, I think Casey and Dustin are two people that I looked up to, and kind of what I'm modeling what you and I are doing after, for sure, because they did such a good job working together and with what they did. So try to carry that over, carry on that honor and tradition that they had started there at Smoky with the series.
Yes, and then once we hit the 4th annual Mayhem in the Mountains, we're on to June 10th and 11th at Crossville for our 4th annual, our Crossville and Lake Cumberland again for our 4th annual Thunder in the Mountains. So we have Mayhem in the Mountains, and then we have Thunder in the Mountains.
That's right. So Thunder in the Mountains is at, we don't have a name for the Lake Cumberland race, but Thunder in the Mountains is at Crossville Speedway. And that one will either be a 2,500 or a 3,000 to win race, followed by going to Lake Cumberland. Lake Cumberland after that. Bud, you're late to the party. We already talked about you a long time ago, buddy. So, you're going to have to go back and watch the beginning. So you should have been here at 7:30 with us and ready to rock and roll.
Well,
man,
for
come
those
on.
who can't see what we're laughing about, Bud Watson, Great Lakes Speed Shop, we're happy to have him tuning in on our podcast this evening, and he asked us if we're behaving.
Hey, I want to share this comment too.
Joe, good talking with you, and when you came by the Blue Ridge booth, by far the best crate series in the nation, that's my honest opinion.
We got good things going, Allie. We have
awesome.
a lot of good supporters, and appreciate the kind words, Hunter. I really believe that what we've got going, we want everybody to be a part of. We want everybody to feel welcome and to be a part of what we've got working here. We're working hard.
We didn't have drivers. We didn't have fans. We didn't have our tracks that support us on our weekly shows. If we don't have them on our tour, it wouldn't be possible without it, and our partners as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's good to have fun with you guys. Like I said when we first started this show, if you joined us late, this show is not just to sit here and seriously talk about the American All-Star Series. Excuse me. We want you guys to jump in. We want you to have fun with us. We want you to be involved. I mean, with us streaming this show, we're hoping to reach another, not just the generation and the people that are already into the sport, but we want to reach people on some of these other platforms that we mentioned that we're on now. And so they will come out and learn about racing. So, Bud, those dang children are the kids that we're talking about there that held you up on getting on the show tonight. So, don't be surprised if you're on here commenting to us at some point. If we don't send an invite randomly to StreamYard and you go find a good place to chat with us, that could happen while we're doing these shows.
Absolutely. So we were talking about our schedule. And also, if you have any comments, just keep continuing, and we'll get to them when we can. We have a July 1st race that is a TBA. So hopefully we'll announce where that's going soon. Get a good race in there. But then on July 2nd and July 3rd, we're at West Virginia Motor Speedway, and we are at Willard Speedway.
All right.
So, West Virginia is a huge track.
Allie, I want to talk about both these races. That West Virginia Motor Speedway. Sorry, suspense. We're bringing in suspense tonight. West Virginia Motor Speedway is bigger than where you saw your first ever dirt track race with the American All-Star Series.
I know, and so I'm super excited to see that and see those guys run the crap out of the motor. So hopefully we'll get a lot of cars there. But if I was a driver, Joe, we have Willard on the schedule twice before our National Crate Championship at the end. I think I would come to Willard the whole season just so I could practice for that 15,000 at the end of the year.
Yeah, speaking of Willard, I want to shoot this up there real quick from our good buddy Robert Roberts that's been with us through the whole show. He loves Willard. We do too, obviously. Speaking of, we'll talk more about the big race at the end of the year, but I think that we definitely need to appreciate the fact that this is a track that last year when we were there for 2,500 to win, it was the biggest race they've ever had.
Well,
when we go to this race on July 3rd, you know what else? What it's going to be?
Biggest race they ever had.
Biggest race they ever had. We'll come back to that. We'll come back to that.
Okay.
We'll come back to that. We'll stop right there for now. So Josh Thomas says he's definitely coming to West Virginia Motor Speedway. Allie, I've tried for 2 years to get us to West Virginia Motor Speedway, and
I was scheduled last year, but we didn't go.
it just didn't work out. There was another track in the area that was running on top of them. After we had our schedule out for a very long time, and the track booked on top of us there. But we're going this year, and it's going to be a lot of fun because I can guarantee you the track that booked on top of us last year is not going to this year. So next up, Allie.
We're back at Smoky with a 10K on July 9th, so we have a week off for July 4th, and then we're back at the Brick Mill Bash for 10,000 at Smoky. I think we're gonna have a pretty good amount of cars there too, because Smoky brings cars, whether it's a 3K, whether it's a 10K.
Yeah, I was talking to Dylan Brown that won several of our 10,000 to win races, and he said, Joe, I was at your race at Smoky Mountain last year, the one in May, for 3,000 to win, and he said, Joe, there were 45 cars there, and 35 of them could have won at any racetrack on any night. He said that was
my first race with the series.
That's right.
I was up in the tower training for speed score and stuff, and me and you were looking at the hot lap times, and we were like, there's literally like 5/10 between first and 16th.
There were no slouches in that race, and you know,
it was one of the best races that last season.
It was, you know, and Allie, that's we got you a little later last year. I'm not sad that your softball season doesn't run as long this year. I've got to be honest. I know you probably are because it's your last season, but we are certainly glad that we're going to have you earlier in the year this year. So if your coach is watching, I'm going to tell him sorry, but we're glad we're getting you earlier this year. So you know, Smoky Mountain Speedway, 10,000 to win. This was another one of Dustin's ideas. Dustin tried 2 years ago for us. I'll tell this story. Dustin tried 2 years ago to get us a 10,000 to win race on the schedule with Smoky. This race is most likely going to be presented by Race Clean. Want to mention that, but I think Roger basically told him he was crazy the first time he tried to do it. But then he kept working for us and working on Casey and got us the 10K this past season. And we moved it up a little bit in the schedule because sometimes August is a little bit of a down month. We were a little down that weekend on when we wanted to do. So, Justin, yes, I can PM you. Send me a friend request if we're not already friends on Facebook, please. Joseph Rush on Facebook, not Joe Rush. So send me a friend request, Justin. But this race, and then the name of this race was actually one that Dustin had wanted to use for a long time, and they never had anywhere on the schedule to put it.
Well, and then you know it's technically in Maryville, but when you put the location on, it's Brick Mill, Tennessee. So I really like that. That's
right. So it's they advertise it as in Maryville, but it's on Brick Mill Road, and so in Brick Mill, Tennessee. So Brick Mill Bash, a name that Dustin came up with, and a race that Dustin came up with. So really, really excited. To honor Dustin all season long, but really excited for this race at Smoky in July. And like I said, you can't beat Casey and Roger there at Smoky Mountain Speedway.
No, you can't. Well, then we have another 2-day show in July, July 29th and July 29th and July 30th. We're at Natty B for 3K, and then we're back at Withville for our trade show 53 for another 10,000. So back-to-back weeks, or back-to-back 10Ks in the month. Super excited about that, especially at Width for our trade show 53. And I like Natty B, so.
I think we both do. Let's talk about Natural Bridge first.
Okay.
The race that we had there in October, Allie, was, and these races are going to be 3,000 win races. So want to mention that the last year's races were just 25, but our races at Natty B this year are 3K. The race that we had, of course, it was the one race we didn't have on pay-per-view all year long, and it was the best race we had all year long.
It was really interesting to watch, especially seeing those guys ride the high side, even though there's not a wall at Natty B. But hopefully we have another good race, and then we hopefully don't have another car going to the creek.
Yes, that happened the first time we were at Natural Bridge.
Yeah.
And our good buddy Jesse Raines took off running.
He was like, I got him. And then he goes over the radio. He's all right.
Just as calm as he could be.
Yeah.
So if you guys don't know Jesse Raines, Jesse works for the series. He's a great young man and will do kind of like you, Allie, do anything that we ask him to. I don't think I could get him in the tower, but anything track wise that I ask him to do, he would definitely do.
Absolutely.
So he lost my train of thought. Jesse will but he's always got that just level, calm.
Always calm.
Yes.
And then I knew that me and him were gonna get along as soon as we were at Charlotte, and it was a downhill spiral. I felt like, and it was raining, and he didn't even complain.
That's
I
right.
would say something to him, he would just be like, mm-hmm. Like, Jesse, this is where you complain with me. This is why we're friends, because you need to complain with me, because this is not okay right now. So.
So was that the one weekend you came close to quitting the series?
No. The one weekend, it wasn't the weekend that made me almost want to quit the series. It was when I couldn't have jumped into a pool and been more soaking wet than I was. And you told me that Dylan Brown won another $10,000 on the series, right? And we go to the trailer. It's pouring down rain. We're taking transponders. It's crazy. Everybody's trying to get out of there. And you say, Dylan's just going to bring his motor to us. Because we've checked it.
We checked the seals. We knew what seals were on it. We knew everything we needed to know.
Yeah. So you said that we didn't have to put it in the trailer. So my job was to pack the trailer with the up 10,000 freaking tires we had. So it's raining. So the whole series packs this trailer. It is a mess. The four-wheeler's in there. The banners are in there. The tires are in there. No room for a motor. So we're all done. So I go to the pit shack, and I'm like, ready to go, And then you literally look me up and down. Allie, go make room in the trailer for the motor. And I was like, you have got to be kidding me right now. So we had to go unpack the trailer and pack it back so we could fit this motor in that trailer. Like,
we did it.
I don't know if this is gonna cut out for me.
You didn't quit. You stuck with us, and now you're in charge. So it's kind of hard to quit when you're in charge.
Yeah.
But I guess that's what hard work and dedication pays off.
I guess
so. Then we have at Withful the Trade Show 53, and that's a cool race. Fred and his team came up with the idea to have a little trade show with the race. It's hard to do a trade show in July, but we always have, a couple of our sponsors will come up and set up little booths, and we open gates early that day, and it's kind of just like a festival, and we hang out all day.
It sounds cool. I did not come to it last year, to the trade show part. But I'm super excited about being there and hosting that trade show, because hopefully Chris Nash will come down there, because we invited him down there to race, and hopefully he'll set up his CNR racing booth at the trade show and then race that night.
That's absolutely right. Allie, one great thing about you getting to travel with us this year is you get to all the races early.
Yay.
And you get to go to teardowns and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
So all will be great TikTok footage though, and
all will be great.
Contribute to that. So especially these long races, these day races. I got a private message just now that you also got. So check that message out, Allie, and
as soon as I click on the live, y'all are talking trash.
Yeah, that's right. So
we're not talking trash. Did y'all see Mike Page was suspended for a year from Ironman series?
Missed that. That doesn't really apply to what we do. So we might see him running some crate stuff though if he is. So we might see him with some of our crate races this year. All right, Allie, we're through July. We're into probably the hottest month of the season.
Yeah, August. We're at Crossville for our third annual Hey Jack construction for $2,500. And then we're on August 13th. We're at the famous I-75 for $3,000.
Yeah, Lewis, his team, Crossville is one of our AAS original track. Been with us since the beginning and always puts on great races. Excuse me. It's a really racy track, a great facility. Crossville's kind of the forgotten track in East Tennessee, I think, and I think it's because you got to cross into that central time zone, but it shouldn't be. It has great shows, great people there. Lewis, Shayla, Josh, great people running the track. Go check out Crossville this season. Preferably come with us, but check us out. Check it out early in the season, and keep supporting them if you can.
Yeah.
They do a really great job there at Crossville, and then we're back at I-75, and that's supposed to be a 3,000 to win. But Allie, if you can promote the season opener for us from afar, and we get a good car count going on, I think he is willing to do 5 again for us in August as well.
Sweet. Hopefully we promote it. I have to give I-75 some credit because one of my most viral TikToks was at I-75.
Allie, that TikTok might be what boosted you into the position that you're in. I mean, it definitely played a part.
I think the TikTok, it was really William Blankenship's video. He sent it to me, and then I posted it, and then ended up getting like 94 point some likes or 94 point some views. And it's just me doing this. So every time the Blankenships see me at a racetrack, if you see them do this, that's why. So graceful is what I like to say.
Yes, that's right. So that was, I said, well, if you're getting that kind of hits, Allie, let's create a TikTok page for the series.
Yeah. Well, and then honestly, let's be honest with the Facebook world and all of our social media worlds. Our first TikTok that I made for the series was with Joe. It was with Joe, and he didn't say anything. I said, I'm here with the American All-Star CEO, Joseph Rush. Joe, what do you have to say? And he didn't say a word.
I'm really good at this TikTok stuff. Really an excellent.
Just so I can laugh at him.
I'm very professional at TikTok, Allie. I told you the other night I was going to become TikTok famous, so I got to figure out how to do that and get on that.
Okay. Flipping back to the schedule where we skip from August to September for September 2nd and 3rd, and we're back at Natty B, Natural Bridge Speedway for 3,000, and then we have another TBA on the schedule for September 3rd. And then we're on September 4th for WIS's 20th Annual Pro Late Model Nationals for 5,000 to win. The oldest straight race in the country.
All right, great. So, wonder what we'll be doing in those off weeks in August. I don't know. But, looking at that, we do have 2 off weeks there. So, just a heads up. August, September 2nd, Natural Bridge. That's 3rd annual Crystal Cup. And Crystal Cup goes in conjunction, or the 4th annual Crystal Cup. Sorry, I've forgot. We're getting older than I thought we were. 4th annual Crystal Cup. And we get into, excuse me, what leads us into the 20th annual Pro Late Model Nationals, the oldest pro late model race in the country. One of the racers we talked to this weekend said, I consider that race in the top 3 in prestige of crate late model races. And last year it was won by a rookie in the crate late model division.
Yes, Ricky Green, he won the oldest crate race in the country. And he did tell me at the car show that he plans to come back at WIS and win that race. So.
Well, he did. He also told you that he was going to win the championship, if you remember.
And then he also told me that I need to get rid of my tiny microphone.
Yeah, he told you all kinds of things at the car show. So he and Chris Nash, if you're watching, he got on a little bit too late. He wanted to do the spoiler for the points leader. So Chris, you stole that from him. So he was like, it was like within 30 minutes of us talking to Chris, Ricky was like, I want to do the spoiler for you guys.
Yep.
So
I literally looked at Ricky and I said, you're about 30 minutes too late, bud.
That's right. So I had a great time with Ricky over the weekend. Really looking forward to having, that's another driver that look forward to having on the tour this year. And he says that he's going to win a championship, but I told him he was coming to chase a championship. So we'll see. He wants to run all the races for sure, but we're excited about that and the possibilities of having Ricky, one of the Carolina boys, running on the tour with us.
Yeah. Well, then we go from the oldest crate race in the country. We take a week and we go to Mountain Motorsports Park again for a 3,000 on September 16th, and then September 17th we are at Willard Speedway for another 5,000.
Hey, you know what that means? the biggest race in Willard Speedway
So we're
history.
gonna set a record the first time. Then we're gonna set a record the second time, and then we're gonna set a record the third time we're there.
Yeah, I wonder if we can set it a fourth time too. When we go back in, and when we'll
Look
get
at
there in a
Michael
little
Smith
bit.
talking trash. I'm still blaming you, Allie, for that scoring error last year. Guilty by association. I'm just gonna let you know, Michael. I take blame for you crashing into the pole on the scales. That's me. That's on me. But I was not in the tower, so that is not my fault.
You did run him into the scales. So hopefully we won't have you doing that stuff this year, Allie. I really do plan to have you learning race directing duties when you're not scoring. So you should not have to worry about running the scales. And he wasn't going to tell on you. He'd rather just give you the scoring error, but
Yeah.
he's going to you sold yourself out on that one. You ran him into the pole. So
It was my first time.
okay, so last year we set the record at Willard first time for biggest race, first ever series race too. We're gonna break it again the first of the year. We're gonna break it in September. Let's see if we can break it a fourth time. All right.
Well, I'm thinking again. If I was the driver, I would be attending that September 17th race at Willard.
That's a good race. I mean, that's a good payout. Good pair up with Isom. I love pairing Isom and Willard together. They're only about 2 hours apart. And you know what? With there being a good chance you're moving to Beckley, you're not going to have a Fazoli's near you anymore either, Allie. So one thing that I personally love about that trip is we get to eat at Fazoli's. So that is one of the best, of course.
Yes, absolutely. Well then, after the September 17th race, we go straight to my birthday weekend. For my 24th birthday, we are on October 8th, Smoky, for the second annual Paint the Mountain Pink 5K.
Allie, don't get too excited. One of the worst races I've ever been a series owner for happened on my birthday.
Oh, great.
So
I just hope that mine goes better.
I think it will. It always goes great at Smoky Mountain Speedway, and no doubt that Paint the Mountains Pink or Mountain Pink will be great. So we'll see if we can't get us some pink going on. One thing not on the schedule is, Allie, there's another TBA that we'll probably have in October for our weekly champions at a track that's near and dear to our hearts.
Sweet. I'm excited to announce that news. Hopefully we can announce it soon. But we take a whole month off to let these drivers prepare for our National Crate Championship, our third annual National Crate Championship, on November 10th, 11th, and 12th at Willard Speedway for $15,000 to win.
Yeah, and we're going to say that's presented by Race Clean. Ryan told me today that's probably what it's going to be presented by. So for right now, we'll advertise it by Race Clean.
Okay.
If he decides to use one of his other companies, we'll change it the next time we go live. But we're going to give him credit and props while we're talking about it tonight anyways. So the Race Clean is actually owned under a parent company that Dirt to Media is also owned by. So excited about the partnership with Race Clean with Dirt to Media. You were like on cloud 9 last night when I told you we would just have clips on Flow Racing. So it gives you the biggest, goofiest smile in the world. But
That's awesome.
but this race will be on Dirt to Media in its entirety. And
I'm super excited about Dirt to Media. And then all of a sudden we're with Flow too. It's like, what?
we're going to have an app for the American All-Star Series. So we might have to talk a little bit about that next week.
Yeah. Well, we have this huge schedule, or 25 races this season, and possibly, maybe one in there. But we have amazing partners for the 2022 season. So here's a quick list of our sponsors for 2022. right, welcome back to Off the Dirt with Allie and Joe. We are here with Joseph Rush, the CEO of American All-Star Series, presented by PPM Racing Products. Joe, now it's time to talk about how much we messed up.
Yeah, we've had a few of those tonight, including the fact we didn't tell anybody who our guest for next week was. So we're going to do this at the end of our shows. We appreciate, let me first say, thank you all for sticking with us tonight. It's been a lot of fun. Our goal was to be at an hour. We're a little over an hour, but, we made some mistakes tonight. We've hinted at some big news that can inflict, really, it's going to affect both our lives and in a big way. That we're really, I mean, I'm just busting at the seams to be able to talk about it. So we've hinted at that. And Allie, I think for our first podcast, it's been great. We've had a lot of fun.
Yep, I'm excited for our second episode. Next time I won't have my TV on to show my country albums playing. But we got a lot of comments, a lot of viewers tonight to our new social media accounts, YouTube and Twitch, and then hopefully we'll have Instagram next time, but we are on Twitter too. But yeah, I'm super excited for episode 2. Hopefully we won't mess up as much, and hopefully the train won't come by and blow its horn.
Yeah, that's just something I look forward to. Probably about 3 months time, we have the opportunity to actually be in a studio doing this. So first 12 episodes or so, you'll be here with us this way, but we really hope to have a studio set up, and there's a couple different locations we could get that set up in Beckley that will really just take these shows to the next level. So we're excited about that, and I appreciate you guys. We've had a lot of great comments, a lot of fun. Robert Roberts has said a lot. Dave Hammond, partner, Cody Early was here. Michael Smith had some fun with you personally, Allie. Yes.
We build a lot of relationships. Hopefully this thing takes off. Hopefully we'll get some new viewers next week. For those watching right now, be sure to keep your comments coming next time. Tune in next week on Monday, January 17th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be going live again on all of our social media accounts with Off the Dirt with Allie and Joe. Production of the American All-Star Series presented by PPM Racing Products. And next week, I think we have a special guest, Joseph.
Go ahead and do your intro for him.
So we are next week going to have a special guest on the Off the Dirt with Allie and Joe. He is not won 1, not 2, but 3 10,000s with the with the series last year in 2021. So that's at least $30,000. Dylan Brown, he will be here talking with us for a segment with us on our Off the Dirt with Allie and Joe. That's all we have planned for you guys tonight. This is all we have to plan to talk about. So we'll see you guys next Monday, January 17th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Off the Dirt with Allie and Joe, production of the American All-Star Series.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.